Well, that's a great question. Why not? Well, let's go to why not. Bring up the chart of CrowdStrike. And this is the only tangent we're going to go on, but this is why not. This is why we don't catch falling knives, folks. Because you know what? You're like, and Kramer even said it after the first, when CrowdStrike went that day down from 340 to 300. Kramer was saying, well, it'll bounce back. This is, great company. It's a one-off. Well, then it's fallen again, and it didn't just fall yesterday. It fell another 14% yesterday on the same headline. And again, we know ratings, come in the next day. That's why you don't buy on day one if you weren't listening to yesterday's show. We'll say it again. After day one of a slaughter, that happens, during the day, not at night, that you often see the follow-through ratings the next day. That's exactly what we saw yesterday, where we had 3 downgrades. We also had a multiple price target lowering. We even had Johnny come lately HSBC last night downgrading CrowdStrike. Maybe they bottom ticked it. I mean, it's oversold to be oversold. Probably one of the most oversold stocks now, to go from 380 to 260 basically in a heartbeat. From one of the best, cyber stocks to we can't even touch this thing in a heartbeat. You got to think there's a bounce in here somewhere. But man, timing that bounce, you could have thought that you could have thought at 300 like Kramer. You could have went 290, 280, 270. Well, it did bounce at around 260 yesterday. But man, this is a tough chart. I think you got to wait until you start to see a bottoming formation. Like, get a calendar that doesn't have a new low on it, like a daily candle calendar. Get a candle that doesn't have.
I know why you're buying it. I know why you're buying it today. For your long-term portfolio.
Why?
Because your idol's buying it. Oh, come on, Dennis.
Who's buying CrowdStrike?
Your number one. Come on, the chat's even giving.
Oh, Cathie. Of course, Cathie's buying it. Cathie, entire strategy is buy the dip and sell the rip. She honestly probably is our biggest fan. She's like a closet pre-market prep lover, because she buys the dip and sells the rip more than any other person or money manager on the face of the earth. Tesla goes up 30, she sells. Tesla goes down 30, she buys. Crowd goes down 30, she buys. Crowd goes down another 30, she buys. She is the ultimate fader. She is the ultimate contrarian. It's probably why she had a tough few years here, because she's just fading everything. She's the ultimate fader. They call her Darth Fader.
Before we move on from CrowdStrike, this was just an interesting thing I saw on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, yesterday. So from the Deutsche Bank note here, our initial reaction on Friday was seeing a 10% pullback in a high-quality stock as a buying opportunity. However, we were ironically unable to publish our original research note due to the outage itself.
That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
That's awesome. Gotta be, so the company, they're doing a research note on the company, can't post the note because of the company, but they're still bullish. So Deutsche Bank.
That is awesome.
Still got the hold on here. $350 price target for CrowdStrike. Now currently trading. What are we at CrowdStrike? You guys said
that's the funniest note I've ever. That's
267.
Note I've ever
267.
Seen. That's awesome. Brilliant. Yeah. I don't know about the call, but great job on that line from it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean and someone actually called it on Twitter too. Oh yeah, look, someone this person tweeted on July 19th, imagine being sell-side or wanting to publish crowd defend note, but cannot hit send because the systems aren't working. So this person, random Muppet trading on Twitter, called that before it even happened. So they like created this a hypothetical scenario in their head, and then that hypothetical scenario came true. Wow. So shout out to random Muppet as well if you're in the chat.